Public demanding change following the Covenant school shooting. News Channel 5 investigates, reveals whose voices really matter on Tennessee's Capitol Hill. Hello, everyone. I'm Vicki Yates.
And I'm Rory Johnston. You know, from Nashville celebrities to moms and dads and school children, we've heard the pleas for Tennessee lawmakers to do something about gun violence. So why does it seem most of those lawmakers aren't really listening? That's what our chief investigative reporter Phil Williams wanted to know. And Phil continues his revealed investigation into how Capitol Hill really works. Phil.
You know, this is such a frustrating situation to a lot of people. The heart of the problem our investigation discovered is how elections here in Tennessee, in the words of one prominent Republican, are rigged.
How are you doing? Hi there. Good morning, sir.
How y'all doing? Good to meet you. Great. Good to see you.
Welcome to all of you who are here today. It is truly a special day.
The first day of the 2023 legislative session was a time of excitement.
You know, I come now as an equal with my other colleagues here and to continue to fight for the issues I've been fighting for.
And a time of hope.
To all of our freshmen, you will remember your first swearing in for the rest of your life.
But on that day, none could possibly have imagined
Do solemnly swear
what the new term of the Tennessee General Assembly would bring. When you look at the new House, do you think that reflects Tennesseans?
I mean, I think it does. I mean, you look at the voting numbers, it absolutely does. And so the voters are the ones who are making Tennessee red and are the ones who are turning Tennessee Republicans into office.
not one more.
In less than 3 months, the House would face protests calling for tighter gun laws following the mass shooting at Nashville's Covenant School. A protest on the House floor and a vote to expel the so-called Tennessee Three.
What is disorderly is a body that has used voter suppression and rigged maps to take control of our state.
All raising questions about how well Tennessee's Republican supermajority truly represents the majority of Tennesseans.
On the general rule, no, all across the country, these districts don't represent the makeup of the constituency of the people. And Tennessee's another example of it.
Zach Wapp is a staunch Republican who served 8 terms in Congress. He even ran for governor. These days, Wapp co-chairs Issue 1, a group that champions reforms to fix our broken political system.
It is a way to rig the election.
But when Wapp looks at the Tennessee General Assembly, he sees members of his own party who have been able to solidify their grip on power by drawing district lines to maximize their chances of winning, a process known as gerrymandering.
The easiest way to win elections is if you have the pen in your hand and you get to draw the lines that you're running in. It basically to choose your own voters. If you can do that, that's the easiest way to win.
In fact, one of the Tennessee Three, Gloria Johnson, had become such a pain in the side of House Speaker Cameron Sexton and House Republicans that last year they redrew the lines of her district so she no longer lived in the district she had represented.
I mean, this is what the entire map that the Republicans drew did. We're going to let our elected officials choose their voters instead of allowing the voters to choose who they want to represent them.
And you reacted by?
I moved back into my district.
You know, a lot of people think of Tennessee as a solid red Republican state, but if you look at the last 3 presidential elections, Republicans tend to get about 60% of the vote. Democrats still get 40%. But here in the Tennessee House of Representatives, it's a different story. Here, Republicans have drawn the line so they have 76% of the seats, giving them the power to shut off all debate. And in the state Senate, it's even worse. Here, Republicans control 82% of the seats. Then there's the battle for Tennessee's 9 seats in the U.S. House. Statewide, the Republican candidates got 65% of the vote, Democrats 35%. But because of gerrymandering, 8 out of 9 congressional districts, or 89%, went to the Republicans.
Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Republicans got there by dividing Democratic Nashville among 3 Republican districts.
You know, the truth is not partisan. The truth transcends. And the truth is, gerrymandering is not right. It's actually now gotten goofy.
Gun control!
Which brings us back to the gun protests. According to the Vanderbilt poll, Tennesseans overwhelmingly favor universal background checks for anyone who buys a gun, regardless of whether it's from a gun store or a private individual. They also support red flag laws to take firearms out of the hands of mentally unstable people and safe storage laws to keep guns out of the hands of children and criminals. But Tennessee's Republican supermajority, most who don't have to worry about winning general elections, have refused to consider any of those solutions.
All you have to worry about is winning the primary. You don't even have to worry about a general election challenge. What does that do? That means you can hide in the bosom of your party, raise money for the party, cheerlead for the party, suck up to the party leadership, and you get to stay in office.
Some of your Republican friends say, well, that's the way the game is played.
Yes, it's easy to say that. But honestly, if you're honest about it, no, that's just because it's convenient to say that. It's really not best for the people.
It is unacceptable.
Zach Rump thinks it would be better if lawmakers would let someone else draw the district lines.
The solution, Phil, is, I think, nonpartisan commissions at the state level should redraw these lines, not the political parties. And that's not popular in my party because I'm from Tennessee and our party's a majority party, so it benefits our party to keep it the way it is.
And just as Wamp predicted,
well, even the states who have a board who redistricts, it's still political, and they still go to court. And so there is no perfect way.
House Speaker Cameron Sexton was quick to dismiss the suggestion.
And I get it, and I very much respect Cameron Sexton, but I disagree with him on this.
No justice! No peace!
With Tennesseans increasingly feeling that their legislature doesn't represent them, Wamp says failure to address this core issue will only increase the public sense that the legislature is out of touch with them and their lives.
I'll guarantee you, if all the framers came out of the grave, the framers of the U.S. Constitution, and looked at this today, they would go, whoa, 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 you should never have done that, y'all.
To be clear, there's also an issue like this in some states controlled by Democrats. In 8 states, citizens' initiatives have resulted in creation of nonpartisan commissions to redraw those district lines. Another option that Zach Wamp has supported for almost 20 years now is federal legislation to require it. But with our divided government in Washington, that doesn't appear to be in the cards at the moment. Rory?